Hello everybody. It is 12:15. I'm just messing with my music here. Hopefully you can see it. I'm gonna wait a couple minutes here to see if anybody else pops on, and then to give time for Instagram to let you know that, hey, we're doing this thing. So if you are just joining me, I do a little series every first Wednesday of the month called Wellness Wednesday. And this is where I am taking you essentially through a 30-minute self-massage flow or self-massage class. So we focus on different areas, and it's just a moment for you to just relax and de-stress and get a little bit of self-care in. So wait another minute here to see if anybody else comes on. Yes, awesome. All right, well, we'll go ahead and begin. If you are able to, we want to be either at a table or a desk. You can also do this on the floor. It's just a little bit easier on the body if you're at a table or a desk. We're not going to need anything, but this month we're going to be focusing on the head, the neck, the shoulders, the forearms, as well as the hands. So it's going to be a very, very relaxing session. All right, so let's go ahead and begin. Find that comfortable seat. Maybe close the eyes here. Take a few cleansing breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. And just allow our body to relax. Allow your mind to become calm. And just feel your heart opening up, welcoming positive experiences. If you're comfortable, maybe join me in setting your intention to be present in this moment as we welcome this comforting, transformative touch, and we invite our imaginations to guide us to a place of peace. Let's go ahead and once again close the eyes. We're going to breathe in that peace for a counted breath. We're going to breathe in for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. And out for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's try that one more time. Again, the exhale is going to be a little longer than the inhale. So we breathe in for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. And out 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and begin to warm up the body here. The gentle front of neck stretch. So you're going to place your hands just right at the collarbone, one on top of the other. Maybe tag a little bit of weight here in the elbows. Okay, we're going to send the gaze up towards the sky. Again, pulling slightly down here. Let's go ahead and take that deep breath in, breathing in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's hold that breath for a moment. And we exhale for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You can gently come back to that neutral position. Maybe bringing the hands to the lap here. Again, eyes closed, breathing deeply. Just allow your mind to release all of those worries. And with each breath you take, I want you to imagine that you're shedding the fears of last year, okay, layer by layer as you breathe in and you breathe out. Your heart is open here. You can feel the energy of the new year as you begin to relax. Now from here, we're going to go ahead and place the hands onto the knees. I know it's tough, you can't really see my hands, but my hands are on my knees here. Okay, you're gonna allow that chin to become heavy, so chin to chest. And you're going to just gently draw that navel back towards the spine. So you're rounding forward again, tagging that weight in the elbows as you round forward. And we're going to breathe deep into the back. Feel that rib cage expand. Feeling that stretch, intensify. Hold that breath and gently release. Slowly emptying the air from the body. Come back to that neutral position. Again, eyes closed, breathing deeply here. If it feels comfortable, maybe place the hands at heart center. And just breathe. Right now, you have the ability to set your intention towards change, to take a moment to reflect on all of the moments that have brought you here to where you are today. This year, just make a choice to find the joy in each of these moments. Okay, let's breathe in that joy for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. And we breathe out for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can go ahead and slowly open the eyes, release the hands. And we're going to move into that self-massage. So we're going to start with the face today. Okay, just gentle fingertips here. Excuse me, the face and the head. And we're going to start right at the temples. Okay, so you can do all fingertips or 2 fingertips, whatever feels comfortable. And you can either spread them out along the head, or you can stay right at the temporal region. Again, that's up to you. And we're just going to start with a few circles here, going in one direction. And you want to use as much pressure or as little pressure as feels comfortable for you. Remember your breath, move slowly. You can play with the tempo, you can play with the amount of pressure. Closing the eyes, breathing deep here. And when you're feeling ready, you can go ahead and reverse that circle, going in the opposite direction. Breathing deep. And then let's go ahead and begin to slow those circles and just apply a little bit of sustained pressure here. We're going to gently open the mouth to a wide ah, and then you slowly close, maybe readjust the fingertips. We open ah, and slowly close. One more time, let's open wide ah, and slowly close, finishing up with a few more circles here. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and glide down to the jaw. So it's going to be right in front of the ear, that little meaty area. And again, just a couple of fingertips here, right into that area, that little divot right in front of the ear, applying as much pressure as feels comfortable. Going to gently begin to create some circles. Going in one direction. Feel free to shut the eyes if that feels good. And then when you're ready, you can reverse that direction. Breathing deep here. Beautiful. From here, let's go ahead and slow those circles, and we're going to rest those fingertips right into the joint of that jaw. From here, let's gently open the mouth to a wide ah. And then we slowly close, again applying as much pressure as feels comfortable. We open ah, and slowly close. One more time, let's open ah, and slowly close. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and finish up with a few more circles here. Just releasing all that tension in the jaw. Sometimes when we get really stressed, we clench the mouth. So you want to be very nice to your face and your jaw here. Let's go ahead and come off of that. Next, we're going to do a little bit of shoulder stretching. So if you're sitting in a chair, you can take one of your hands and anchor it by holding the bottom of the chair, or if you're just sitting on the floor, you can sit on your hand, okay? So go ahead and anchor in one arm. You're going to take the other hand to the top of the head. We're going to gently guide that ear down towards the shoulder. Now you can stay here if this feels comfortable, if you want a little bit more. You can begin to rotate that head forward and backward, getting all the little muscles that run along the side of the neck. We close the eyes as you enjoy this stretch. Remembering that breath, breathing deep. If you want to go back to that counted breath, breathing in for 4 and out, feel free to do that as well. Be here a few moments as we open up the side of that neck. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and gently release, bringing that head back neutral. And we're going to switch. So we take our other hand, we're going to anchor that in, whether you're holding the bottom of the chair or sitting on the hand. Anchor in that arm. Take the other hand to the top of the head, guide that ear down towards the shoulder. And again, you can stay here if this feels good, or if you like, you can rotate forward and back. Again, close the eyes, enjoy this. Breathing deep. And only go as far and stretch as far as feels comfortable. You shouldn't feel any pain, maybe a little bit of discomfort from stretching, but if you feel any pain, go ahead and lighten up. Feel that side of that neck open, especially as you exhale. Maybe feel that stretch deepen a little bit more. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and gently release, come back center. Now we're going to work into our neck. So for this, let's turn the head to the side. And when you turn the head to the side, you'll notice that you have a little muscle here, the SEM, that pops up. So we're going to use fingertips, and we're going to start right at the base of the ear, right at the start of that muscle here. And once again, you're going to go back to that circular motion. Okay, using as much pressure as feels comfortable for you. Going in one direction, just warming up that muscle tissue. Maybe you start to work your way down a little bit. And as you do this, as you warm up this area, you just want to take note of any spots of tension or sensitivity or tenderness, any areas that you feel might need a little bit of extra work. And as we begin to work these areas, let's go ahead and begin to apply some deeper sustained pressure here if that feels comfortable for you. So apply that pressure. Stay here, breathe deep. And you can intensify this a little bit by creating movement with the head. So depending on where you're at in the neck will kind of dictate what movements are available to you, or that will intensify that spot. But you can try, again, rolling that head forward and backward. Maybe you try looking from left to right. Maybe you try ear to shoulder. Just try these different things to see what feels best for you. What I'm doing might not look exactly like what you're doing, and that's okay. We have different bodies. I might be in a different spot than you. Just breathe deep here as you work through this area. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and finish up with a few circles, maybe moving to a second or third spot. You can move down that SEM if that feels good. Maybe you follow that hairline, working into the occipitals a little bit more. Again, this is all dependent on what spots feel a little uncomfortable for you. So just creating those circles, warming up that muscle tissue in those different areas. And then when you're ready to apply that sustained pressure after you found your spot, go ahead and apply that pressure. And again, you can stay here, or you can move the head and neck. And yes, Brittany, if your arm starts to get tired, you can absolutely switch to the different hand. Okay, my arm is getting tired too. Beautiful. We're going to work one more spot on this side. So once again, you can work a little bit closer towards the occipitals. So if you turn around here, it's right to the side of that spine, maybe up even into the head at the occipital ridge there. You can press into that if that feels good. Or if you want to stay in this area, again, that's up to you, what you're feeling, what your body is needing. Okay, sometimes you can use both hands if that feels good, or you can use the opposite hand if you need to. Beautiful. Go ahead and find that one spot you want to spend extra time on, and then start to create those movements if that feels good for you. Don't forget your breath here, breathing deeply in through the nose, out through the mouth. Nice. Okay, let's go ahead and gently come off of that, and we're gonna work into the opposite side. So again, you turn your head to the side, you see that SEM muscle pop up. You're gonna use one of, whether it's your left or your right hand, whatever you like. Start at the base of the ear here, just warming up the muscle tissue of the neck, creating those small circles. Again, taking notice of any areas of tension, the areas that might feel a little sensitive or tender, any spots that you feel you need to spend some more time on. And when you find that spot, begin to apply your sustained pressure here, only as much pressure as feels comfortable for you. And you can hold that pressure here, or you can create those movements once again. You can do left to right if that feels good. You can move ear to shoulder. Maybe you roll that head forward and backward. Again, this is going to look different for everyone. What I'm doing, again, might not look like what you're doing, and that's okay because I might be in a different spot. But I do encourage you to try these different movements to see what feels best for where you're at. You can close the eyes. You can breathe deep into the belly here. And it's again going back to that counted breath, breathing in for 4, breathing out for 7, and feeling that muscle tissue just melt and release. Let's go ahead and begin to work into a different spot here. Again, if you want to switch hands, if that arm's getting tired or it feels more comfortable on the other side, feel free. And again, you can follow that SEM muscle down, or you can start to work a little bit following that hairline if you want to get more into the occipitals. Oftentimes when our occipital muscles become tight, it can cause tension headaches. So that might be an area that you want to spend a little extra time on. And warming it up, creating those circles. And then when you're ready, you can hold your sustained pressure, or you can add in that movement. So once again, you can do ear to shoulder. You can look left to right. You can roll the head forward and backward, or any other movement that you try and feels good. Once again, this shouldn't be painful, maybe a little bit of discomfort, but like a good hurt. Okay? If it feels painful and it's super uncomfortable, maybe lighten up or find a different spot to work on. Breathe deep here. Again, just taking notice of those spots. Ooh, found one that needs some love. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and find our third and final spot here. I'm going to work more into my occipital region. So again, you can even work up into the hairline where you feel that ridge of your skull. Right in there, you've got some muscle tissue that you can always spend some extra time on. If you want to use both hands, if that feels good. So you can see I'm using my fingertips here, just right through that occipital area. Feel free. You can create movement as you apply that sustained pressure if that feels good. Once again, just remembering to breathe. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and begin to create those circles coming off of that spot. Nice. Hopefully your neck feels a little looser. Right, so now we're gonna work into our traps. So that's that muscle that's right on top of the shoulder here. Okay, so for this, I like to kind of put my hand almost like a hook, kind of. And we're going to just hook into that muscle tissue here. Again, warming it up. If you want to use your other hand to help support that elbow, feel free. But we'll start right at the base of the neck, just creating those circles with our fingertips here, working all the way to the side of the shoulder. Once again, just taking notice of any spots that you feel need some extra love. It might feel a little sensitive, might feel a little sore. And when you found that spot that you want to spend some extra time on, go ahead and just apply that sustained pressure if that feels good. And if you want to intensify this, again, you can create movement with the head and neck. So let's bring our ear to our shoulder. See how that changes that sensation. Maybe we bring ear to shoulder and once again roll that head forward and backward. See if that changes that, if that feels better. Maybe you find a different spot. We're just warming up this tissue, creating some relief. And you don't have to stay in that spot. If you want to move to a different spot, if you found a different spot that you feel needs some extra work, do that as well. Maybe close the eyes as you work here, breathing in for that count of 4, 3, 2, 1, and out 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Let's finish up here with just some gentle squeezing onto the trapezius. And then let's shake out the arm. That was a lot of work we did. Good. Let's go ahead and work into the opposite side. So again, I like to put my hand in that little hook. We're gonna start right where the neck and shoulder meet. You can use that opposite hand to help support that other arm if you like, and just warm up that muscle tissue, kind of hooking into that trapezius muscle here. Finding those spots that feel a little sensitive, a little sore, a little tight. Pressing into that muscle tissue, and when you find that spot that you want to spend that time on, you can apply your sustained pressure and hold here if this feels good, or if you want to intensify, you can bring the ear to shoulder and see how that changes that sensation. You could also bring the ear to shoulder as you roll that head forward and backward, and again, depending on where you're at in the muscle will kind of dictate what movement feels best for you. And if no movement feels best, then that's perfectly fine. If what I'm doing looks different than what you're doing, that's cool too. We've got different pains, different bodies. You might be in a different spot than I am. So just close the eyes here for a moment. Enjoy this little release that you're giving your shoulders. Maybe find that second or third spot if you haven't moved, or if you want to stay in that spot, that's fine too. Breathing in and out. Nice. Let's go ahead and finish up again with a little bit of squeezing onto the trapezius muscle, and we shake out that arm and that hand. Nice. So now we're going to do work into our forearms and our hands. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to place our arm out in front of us, kind of like we're saying stop. And you're going to take your fingertips here and you're just going to pull them back. Now, you don't want to go too crazy with it, so just move slowly, move gently. You're just going to stretch into that forearm. Breathe deep here, breathing in for that count of 4, 3, 2, 1. And out for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and get that thumb too if you didn't get that last time. Gently pulling into that thumb, stretching it out here. Breathing deep. Beautiful. You roll that hand out a little bit. And then we're gonna stretch into the tops of the forearms. So if you have any wrist injuries, just be careful here. But you're gently gonna pull those fingertips, so hands coming down, pulling those fingertips, maybe rotating that elbow crease up towards the ceiling. You'll get a little bit of a deeper stretch here. Stretching into the fronts of that forearms. I think I have a couple massage therapists on. This is gonna help for sure. Just breathe here. And gently release. Beautiful. Let's do some range of motion stuff here. Circling the wrist, or creating circles with the hand and wrist. Go the opposite direction. And we'll move into the other side. So again, you're going to put your arm out, kind of like you're saying stop. Gently pull into those fingertips, stretching the inside of the forearm here. Breathing deep in through the nose, out through the mouth, working within your own body's limits. Again, my stretch might look different. You may be more flexible or less flexible, and that's okay. We're all different. Nice. Let's go ahead and do our thumb. Pull that back again. If you have any injury, just be careful here. Make sure you're connecting with your body and working within your own boundaries. Beautiful. And go ahead and release that, and we're going to work into the tops of the forearm. So again, flipping that hand down, gently pull into those fingers. You're going to rotate that elbow crease up towards the ceiling. You'll get a little bit of a deeper stretch there. Maybe close the eyes if that feels good. Just enjoying this stretch. As you breathe deep into the belly, breathing in for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1, and out for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. You can gently release. Maybe do some wrist rolls here. Get that synovial fluid going in the joint of the wrist. And now we're going to do a little bit of massage into the forearm. So this is where I was saying using a table will be beneficial, or if you're sitting on the ground, you can kind of come forward onto the ground. You're going to place, let's do palm down first. You're going to place one hand down, and you're going to use your other forearm to massage. So we're going to start from elbow crease to wrist. Okay, so you're just going to gently kind of do like a back and forward motion, using your forearm, working all the way down, and again, using as much pressure as feels comfortable for you. Just warming up this muscle tissue, feeling any spots of tension or areas that maybe need a little bit of extra work. And when you find that spot, you can begin to press into that area if that feels good. And if you want to intensify this, you're going to move this bottom hand. So you can bring it up and down as you press into those areas. Maybe you create a fist and release. Again, try these different movements, get creative with it, and only do what feels best for you. Okay, again, what I'm doing might look a little different, and that is perfectly fine. My pain is different from your pain. Everyone's different. Just remember to enjoy this. And maybe take note, because maybe you need to come back to these areas when we're done here, and that's fine too. So just kind of take notice of those spots that need that extra work. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and come off of that, and we're going to work into the other forearm. So once again, working from elbow crease to wrist, we'll place the hand or the arm with palm down. Take our other forearm, place it on top of the bottom forearm here, and just rocking back and forth, working our way down. I think I'm going to be going over time here. And then working your way back up. Taking notice of those spots that need some extra love. And when you find a spot, You can press into it and hold that sustained pressure if that feels good. Or if you want to intensify this, you can, again, move this bottom hand so you can bring the hand up and down and up and down. Or maybe you create a fist and release, fist and release. Doing what feels best and good for you. Beautiful. You can work all the way down if that feels good. Nice. All right, let's go ahead and come off of that and work the inside of the forearm. So this time the palm is going to come up. And I'm already at 12:45, so I think I'm going over a little time. So if you need to hop off, feel free. My feelings won't be hurt. So we're going to work from elbow to wrist crease, and we're going to do the same exact thing, just this time our palm is up. So again, rocking back and forth, using that opposite forearm to work into that muscle tissue. Taking notice of those spots that need a bit of extra love, and just like what we did with the palm face down, we can move this hand up and down if we want to intensify, or we can create a fist and release, fist and release. Just working those areas that feel a little sore or tender. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and do the other side. So again, palm up. We take our other forearm, place it at the elbow crease, warming up the muscle tissue. We rock backward and forward, warming up these areas, finding those spots that need some extra love. And when you find that spot that you want to spend that time in, you can hold that sustained pressure. You can also move that hand again up and down, or fist and release, fist and release. Again, only do what feels best for you and get creative with those movements. I can't see you. No judgment here. Awesome. Let's go ahead and finish up here. And we'll move to our hands. So for this, I usually like to use like a tennis ball or a lacrosse ball to roll it out, but because we're not using any tools, we're gonna use our fingertips. So with this, let's take our thumb, and you wanna be very careful here. Make sure that you're stacking the bones of your thumb as you begin to work into this muscle tissue, because you don't wanna injure yourself. But start from the heel of the hand and just gently glide that thumb all the way up into that thenar eminence, that very meaty part of your thumb. Oftentimes this is an area that is very sore or tense on a lot of people. Try to make sure that this hand that you're working on stays relaxed, because if you're like this, you're going to be fighting yourself. So just try to relax it as much as you can. Maybe place it on the table if that helps. And just work your way all the way through the palm. I oftentimes like to work in between the bones of the fingers. And again, you're just finding those spots that feel sensitive or tense or need some extra work as you work into those areas. Being careful to only apply as much pressure as feels comfortable, not only in this hand, but feels comfortable for this, because you don't want to injure yourself either. Lovely. Okay, let's go ahead and do some finger pulls. So just going to kind of squeeze my fingers, use my thumb and my forefinger here to just squeeze my fingers all the way down from knuckle to fingertip. And you don't have to hold your arm out like that. I'm only doing that so you can see. You can be a little bit more relaxed. Make sure you get each and every single finger. Nice. Let's go ahead and work into the other hand. So once again, you may want to place your elbow on the table so that you can release this hand. Stack the bones of your thumb, and you're just going to work into that meaty part of your opposite hand here. Okay. Pressing into that muscle tissue, finding those spots that maybe need a little bit of extra love. You can work into the in between the muscles of the fingers, excuse me. And again, finding those spots that feel a little sensitive or sore. Beautiful. And again, this might be something that you have to come back to, so feel free to just take note of those areas that feel a little tense, because you can always come back to it now that you know how. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and go back to our finger pull. So again, using the thumb and forefinger, I'm just going to work my way all the way from knuckle to fingertip. Just doing some gentle squeezing. Feels really nice. You don't have to put your elbow like this. I'm just doing that so you can see, but you can rest on the table. Make sure you get every single finger. Move slowly, mindfully. Let's go ahead and shake out the hands. Beautiful. From here, you can go ahead and just find that comfortable seat. We're going to finish with a final meditation. If you want to put hands at heart center, that can feel nice, or you can just put them on your lap or at your side. Let's go ahead and close the eyes. Take a breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Just begin to feel all of your muscles relax as you breathe out. Maybe notice your body starting to let go all of the tension. And as you settle into this restful moment, just know that you're ready to embrace all of the good of this new year. And begin to notice your breath here, how that air fills your lungs. Maybe breathe out with gratitude for this moment, gratitude for this year, this new opportunity. Let's breathe into all of these different possibilities, breathing in for a counted breath of 4, 3, 2, 1, and we breathe out for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Try that once more. Remember that exhale is longer than the inhale. We breathe in for 4, 3, 2, 1, and out 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And just allow the thoughts here to come gently back to your mind. When you're ready, awake and tell yourself thank you for this moment of peace that you've allowed yourself to embrace. Just send yourself a silent thank you, a bit of gratitude. And may your new year be filled with love, with joy, and with happiness. Guys, that ends it. Thank you so much for joining me. I know I went a little bit over. I'll stay on for a few more minutes here if anybody has any questions on anything that we worked on. If you do, go ahead and type them in. If not, I will see you next month for our next Wellness Wednesday. Bye, guys. It was so good to see you, Britt, even if it was only through Instagram. Thanks for joining me. You are so welcome. All right, guys. Well, if you don't have any questions, I'm going to hop off. And if you do and I didn't see it, feel free to direct message me. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Bye.